So you're planning on playing hardcore classic WoW when the servers drop at the end of the month. Well done you, sounds like a great and very original plan. Fun for you and doubtless for the whole family, especially when they hear your pained shrieks of torment as you die for the 10th time trying to grab Fizzle's claw, you silly sausage. What you need is a guide, someone to help you choose what class to play when the official servers come out. You know, as if you haven't been playing the likely superior player-made version for the last 4 months. You need an expert to ensure you make the right choice for you. But seeing as there's no experts available right now, you'll just have to watch my video instead. What better way to begin this video than to talk with authority and conviction about a class that I have essentially no experience playing. Makes sense to start as we mean to go on, right?
Confusion of the highest order.
The Vanilla Priest is best known for being the god of healing and highly desirable at max level, which ordinarily would be a great reason to play this class on a fresh server. However, considering that this is hardcore we're talking about, where most players are statistically likely to get fucked by a Defias trapper around level 13, your chances of ever getting to demonstrate your max level healing prowess are modest at best. Instead, you'll just be hoping you can survive long enough to run BFD and get yourself a Gravestone Scepter and watch as your wand turns into a fucking rocket launcher. On the plus side, in hardcore there isn't that obsessive focus on being a healer for other people like there is in normal vanilla, so at least now you can properly spec Shadow and listen to the Rasmus all day like you've been wanting to do for the last 19 years. I won't judge you, I promise. If I had to give the Priest a tier rating for hardcore, I'd probably go with B, as in, one goes brrrr. Is it any surprise that Hunter is considered by many to be the easiest class to play in hardcore? A class which allows you to attack whilst running around like an idiot, letting the poor innocent creature you have enslaved risk life and limb doing all the hard work for you?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Yes, Hunters are an easy choice in hardcore, just like in standard vanilla. You can kite, slow, attack from far enough away as to not get gangbanged by every mob on the block, and you can do all of this without ever taking a single point of damage. Just remember, you only get that pet at level 10, before that, you're on your own, so watch out. It would be a shame if you died before even reaching level 10. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? There's nothing more to say about Hunter really. If you play one, you'll probably go far in hardcore, but just remember that you're only doing it because of your pet, and even if you make it to level 60 in one piece, we'll all still know that you got your ass carried by Pumba. This class is S tier, no question, but the S should probably stand for school, which is where you should be right now if you play this class. There is an irony to the fact that the most undervalued, unloved class in vanilla, the Druid, is actually great in hardcore if played correctly. In the hands of the right furry, a Druid becomes a kiting god with arguably the largest toolkit in the game. Some people will whine about the fact that certain spells such as entangling roots can only be used outdoors. Look, you're a fucking Druid alright, you wear dresses made of leaves and bury your shit in the garden like a cat. Of course you can't use certain spells inside buildings. Buildings are against your religion. They make you sad.
No.
Besides, spells only being castable outdoors really isn't a big deal. If you're spending any extended length of time inside a large building in hardcore outside of dungeons, then you're running a big risk of getting trapped, so it's best avoided anyway. Just always remember that if you're playing a Night Elf, you're gonna have to do the Wetlands run at some point, and likely quite early on in your adventure, unless you want to spend your time stuck in Darkshore, and honestly, fuck that. And when you do the I said do. And when you do the Wetlands run, I hope you have luck on your side. All it takes is a stray giant crocolisk or raptor crossing your path for you to realise pretty quickly that nature can be a right twat sometimes, even if you are a Druid. It gets an A from me. A for abandon all hope at level 60 when you realise you're playing a Druid and no one likes you anymore. Some people will try to tell you that playing a warrior in Hardcore Classic is a perfectly comfortable experience and that it isn't objectively the worst F tier class choice for anyone intending to survive longer than it takes to cook a fucking hot pocket. And despite what you might expect, I actually agree with this. Warrior is not an F tier class in Hardcore WoW. It's actually D tier. Yeah, D for dog shit. What makes it so bad? It's pretty simple really. Warriors can be very strong indeed. Vanilla is rife with capped geared warriors doing ridiculous numbers at endgame. It is also objectively the best tank in Classic. you know, because it's the only class they bothered to design right for tanking. It's a great class. If you have enough money for consumables and amazing gear, then you'll be very strong indeed. Really, a good warrior is like Batman. You have the training, all the money in the world to throw at any challenge you face, and the very best gear available. But here's the problem. When you start your hardcore adventure, you'll have no money, no gear, and very few useful skills early on, which means you're not Batman, you're just man. And once you step foot outside of your starting area and your armor and DPS drops off with every level you gain, and the experience of fighting any mob increasingly feels like sticking your balls in a GBC fusion laminator. What? Look it up. Then you will understand, my friend, why it is that most people say that the warrior is the hardest class to play in hardcore WoW. However, I am a benevolent god, and I do not wish to leave you brave warriors without a shred of hope as you embark on your hardcore classic adventure. There is a way that you can succeed, but it involves you ensuring that you have the consumables and the gear necessary to even the odds and let your valor at arms win the day. To do this, you can either commit yourself to a life of farming gold for 15 hours a day, watching Sigma Male grind set YouTube videos all day long, only to find that by the time you've acquired enough money to buy some shitty BOE on the auction house, your friends are already balls deep in molten core. Or you can take up blacksmithing to make your own shit and run around mining copper all day like one of the fucking 7 dwarves. At least that way you might find some small sense of progress and meaning in your endeavours. Just remember that Blizzard decided to put the blacksmithing area at the arse end of Orgrimmar, just to make this experience even more painful for you. Looks like you're going to be spending a long time grinding out that copper axe of moulding, my friend. Hey, it's not all bad. At least you've got my whole classic playlist to watch while you're at it, eh?
There is no such thing as a coincidence.
Mage, the Tsar Bomber of Vanilla WoW. When you went to magic school, you were only interested in 2 things: learning how to blow shit up and learning how to conjure up a pint and a Scotch egg, which, you know, fair play, is probably all you need to get ahead in life. There's very little to criticise with the mage, honestly. The traditional early game path of speccing into Frost works fantastically, as it turns out enemies can't charge at you effectively if you cryogenically freeze their testicles.
What killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age!
The combination of your great CC and slowing effects, coupled with your stellar AoE spells and ability to conjure food and drink for your gnome to stuff his gormless fucking face with, means that you will level extremely quickly, if you know how to handle yourself. As an extra challenge, you can of course follow in the footsteps of prior great wizards and try to reach level 60 using only arcane spells and talents, but don't be surprised if you try this and get fucking Cedric Diggory'd within 5 minutes like the low tier squib you are. Fuck me, that's a lot of Harry Potter references. I feel like I'm on Tumblr or something. Whatever path you choose in life, just don't get too cocky, yeah? It's easier than you think as a mage when you know you can slow and mow whole armies of mobs. I just look forward to watching from afar, laughing my arse off when you finally fly too close to the sun and your AoE pull goes wrong. There's just nothing that compares to watching a gnome mage haul ass with 15 angry gnolls in hot pursuit. Let's just hope Blink isn't on cooldown, eh? Paladin, the White Knight of WoW. Well, let's be honest, it's not like your leveling speed could get much slower than it already is in vanilla, so this is one class where you won't feel as heavily punished by the slow pace of hardcore. It gets even better, because you'll want to take advantage of your ability to wear heavier armour to increase your survivability, coupled with the more solo-focused nature of hardcore, you're more likely to be allowed to wear cool-looking plate gear. This means that if you're lucky, you might actually get to look a little bit like a real holy knight, instead of looking like a weird sex priest in a dress, which is the unfortunate fate of most vanilla paladins.
Could we talk over there? Where the others do not see?
Why, yes, brother. Of course.
Still, however you choose to play, the sad reality is that you will be forced to endure 60 levels of using auto attack and judgment to deal pretty much all of your damage, an experience that will likely result in you wishing for the sweet release of death. For this reason, I give Paladin a B for Bubble Hearth is banned in hardcore. Thank fucking God. The Warlock, or as I like to call it, the Hunter for anyone over the age of 12, is a great choice in hardcore if you have more than 2 brain cells to rub together. You get access to numerous pets, including a gremlin, the genie from Aladdin, a doggo, and an e-girl.
He's very nice.
You also get to have a great deal of utility and useful consumables, though it's a good bit harder for you to escape combat than it is for other classes, and you're more gear dependent than other casters due to the high cost of your abilities. But hey, at least you get the added bonus of knowing you're playing the real evil class in game, which is always very fun. Whilst you can't run and gun like a hunter, I would argue that a lot of your utility is more beneficial, and you can also hold on to some of your own self-respect when playing this class, which is a bonus I guess. On the downside, be prepared to be faced with the most bizarre set of talent trees in the fucking game, designed by a chimpanzee afflicted with mad cow disease. Also, I hope that your Voidwalker lifts, because you're going to need some seriously jacked assistance to help you carry all those fucking soul shards around. Still, whilst I could put the Warlock in the A tier, I'm going to give it an S, because hey, you can't spell soul shard without an S.
Well, hang on a minute. You can't spell soul shard without an A.
Moving on. Congratulations, you took a break from watching the Joe Rogan Experience and listening to Andean panpipe music to actually play some WoW. And surprise, surprise, you're the sort of person who plays a shaman.
Pretend that you're a female moose that wants some dick.
You probably also wear t-shirts with Prince of Wolves on them and refer to your friends as your pack. Here's the thing though, some people will tell you that shaman is a fine option in hardcore, whilst others will tell you that you're destined for a swift and brutal death. The truth is that whilst the shaman lacks the instant life-saving abilities of a paladin, or the combat escape skills of a rogue, you do have a lot of utility, including the ability to taunt, slow, range pull, and obviously heal. However, it can be difficult to get to grips with such a wide array of tools, and for an unexperienced player, this could lead to your downfall. For this reason, I consider the Shaman to be a B tier class for hardcore, as in bachelor's degree in macro management required if you're going to play it. You need to know what you're doing with this class, or else you'll wake up in the dead of night in a cold sweat looking like Thrall from the beginning of Warcraft 3, and that's just embarrassing. In short, a Shaman can be difficult to play in hardcore, but the class comes equipped with many useful tools available for a skilled player who knows how to make the most of them. So I guess you're fucked. And finally, we come to the Gentleman's class. The Rogue is, as you should all know by now, my personal favourite class. Regardless, this is clearly an objective, evidence-based review of the classes, and unfortunately when it comes to hardcore, I can't rank the Rogue as an S tier class, so I will be giving it an A. A for actual real-life psychopath, which is a pretty accurate descriptor for at least 85% of Rogue players.
You sleep rather soundly for a murderer. That's good.
Blind, Gouge, Vanish, Sprint, and many more spells grant you the ability to demonstrate tactical cowardice as fast as your Doritos cheese-encrusted fingers can hammer the keyboard. You may be gear dependent like a warrior and dress in leather like a fucking gimp, but none of that matters when you have the option to stun and run on command. Sometimes the kill isn't what it's about, and in hardcore, survival is the ultimate goal. But let's be honest, you're a rogue player. Worrying about NPCs isn't your issue. Your biggest risk is going to be not dying to other players in the Mat Garage duels, which we both know you'll end up in. Statistics show that rogue players can only go an average of 30 minutes playing WoW without trying to murder another player. Just remember, you can't run from a duel to the death, as far as I know anyway. Either there will be an invisible wall, or your ass will be getting hunted across Azeroth, and your hardcore run will turn into the plot of It Follows. All I'm trying to say is, just bear in mind when you challenge that noggin-foggered shaman to a duel, that you chose the rogue life at the end of the day. Just something to remember when he pulls out the iron grenades and the mithril dragonling, and you have to start playing whack-a-mole with his totems whilst he laughs his arse off. Life isn't fair, but you can make it a lot easier on yourself if you stop trying to kill other players and focus on the leveling instead. I mean, you don't see me seeking out Mat Garage duels, do you?
We both know that's just because you know you die.
Hey there boys and girls, thanks for watching through to the end. I hope you enjoyed the video and got a laugh out of it. Maybe it even helped you pick your class. I certainly hope not. It's been great fun making something a bit silly, you know, for a change. And with hardcore around the corner, I wanted to show it some love. I have an idea for something pretty crazy as a personal challenge when the official servers drop. So if you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and stick around for more content just like this. Until the next video though, my friends, be well, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.